Hi, everybody.
Hello, folks. Sorry about the technical issues, but uh, now let's actually go ahead and get started. Welcome to session 4 of Geist the Sin Eater Second Edition, Second Chances. As I was mentioning, well, attempting to mention earlier, uh, we uh, we have a Discord server now. Uh, I just pinned the wrong message. Anyway. Uh, We have a Discord server now that is now in the pinned message at the top of the chat. If you want to join, we have some fun stuff there, hopefully, uh, including a little sneak peek behind the curtains where you can see. Uh, where you can see downtime actions the players are making in between streams as they actually happen. And speaking of downtimes, let's actually get into it by talking about what everyone did during their downtime. Who wants to go first?
I need a minute. Could one of you guys?
Yeah, I can. Sorry, I was just trying to scroll to the right spot. So Nathan, we had three downtime actions, and Nathan decided to do a few things that'll help us along our way. For day one, he went to a meeting with Myrtle to talk about the yearbook and return their ring. Uh, I kind of wanted to ask like what happened to it, ask about if she's willing to come investigate with us, things of that nature. And she's the chief editor of the Whispering Peaks Gazette. She's basically in her mid 50s, really thin with black straight hair, a cigarette perpetually in her hand. And upon returning the ring, she gave me a really strange look. And while she's willing to hear me out, the most she's willing to do is give me her phone number with a request to call her if I find anything um, that might actually be new. And then she'd be willing to consider it. On day two, I decided to look up local slaughterhouses and maybe schedule a tour. And we found out that the upscale farmer Kimball's grocery store near the town square gets fresh local meat from a Kimball-owned ranch a few miles out of town. So I'm going to set up a meeting to go there and tour the facilities. And for day three, I tracked down my grandfather's obituary so that I could get some relevant details. Everything has tours, Void. And I looked it up, and it wasn't hard to find. Winston Cartwright died age 76 of a heart attack in September 2010. So I got enough relevant details to hopefully help us figure out what happened to him after.
Alrighty. And for my day actions, um, so first day was my first stream since being murdered, and for the most part, it was uneventful. Though Meathead seemed very excited to with it. He didn't quite understand what was going on, but he did understand it was a competition, and he likes that. Um, the second day, spent the day editing like a highlight reel for Ty's games, um, and it was yeah, went pretty smoothly. And once again, they were super. Meathead was super excited to see the competition and all that going. And then on the third day, spent it researching, uh, see if I could find a gaseous chemical that fits the description of what was used out on the bus, and there does appear to be something that is very similar that was used in 2002 by Russian security during a an incident. Um, so we do have something of a lead there. So it's
And
just a matter of, so go ahead.
and specifically what happened there was it was a gassing at a theater, and there is famously another event that occurred here in town, which was a series of deaths that referred to a gassing at a theater. So we might have a lead we need to follow up on.
Yep. And that was my day actions.
Alrighty. With that said, let's go ahead and jump on in. So
I
today
I
is Tuesday.
I
Yep.
We didn't
believe
do ties.
yeah.
Oh,
Sorry.
duh. Sorry.
That's my punishment for doing a bad job today. For day actions for me, let me just pull that up. So my downtimes this week, first order of business, I borrowed some gas from my uncle's generator at the fishing lodge and invited Gus over to be a present adult. I picked up I picked up a ceremony this week, which basically allows me to very carefully and ceremoniously destroy an object and turn it into a powerful cast off, a ghost of an object that will be a lot more useful when we're dealing with the undead. In this case, I'm using the same ritual discovered by the people of the Forestry Division of the United States, used for destroying old Woodsy the Owl costumes, and burned it in the presence of an authority figure. In this case, my favorite old hockey gear. A, a set of protective pads, my hockey stick, my skates, and my old gear bag, so I have something to carry them in when they're not in. And that's now going to be slung over my back unless I tell someone otherwise.
And that particular ceremony is from the supplement Memento Mori. It's called Extended Checkout. Specifically, it creates a rank 2 cast off, which means that the ghostly item is somewhat more powerful than a random ghost item you might find just laying around in the underworld.
It's also a little bit harder for it to just kind of go away, so it'll be easier for me to hang out. If you're interested in the specifics of these items, they're available in the Discord in the section marked equipment. I'll also be writing up our personal write-ups of the ceremonies we've done, which include our personal performances of them over this next week, but I did not have time to do all of that this week.
All right. Anything else? Because I don't want to cut anyone off again.
Do we want to go over aspirations, or do we just want to do that at the end?
We usually do that at the end, but if it would be a good idea, I suppose, to cover the aspirations that everyone has for today's session.
So mine are continuing get scouted for college hockey, find the son of a bitch who took everything from me, get some fucking answers, become capable of greater violence, and find someone we've lost.
I've got find the killer, which we're working on. Get to know Josie. Find out what Myrtle was moaning about. Find my grandpa's ghost, which is my long-term burden aspiration. And help a friend.
Okay. And I have get out of Whispering Peaks, world record speed run, learn the rules of the game, find the gaps, and lastly, tie a new hobby. My apologies. It was get out of Whispering Peaks, world record speed run. Let me just yeah, world record speed run. Learn the rules of the game. Find the gaps and tie a new hobby.
Right. By the way, for folks who aren't super familiar with Chronicles of Darkness, aspirations are a big part of how you get beats, uh, which 5 beats make an XP, and XP are used for character progression. Accomplishing an aspiration gives you a beat. The book discusses aspirations with long-term and short-term. We have a bit of a house rule here that you get a beat when you take a step towards a long-term aspiration. Because, well, I feel that I would like folks to have more XP to play with. That's all. Alrighty, that bit of bookkeeping said, today is Tuesday, October 17th, 2023. School is letting out. This has been your first week back, and if folks were standoffish during the first week, but now, well, this was the start of your second week back. Your first week, folks were a bit standoffish, but now folks are starting to warm up to you. Uh, as much as insofar as that's possible, considering that the murder of Class A is all over the news. It's the talk of the town. And as the only 3 survivors, so are you as well. So, what are you guys doing at the end of the school day?
um, uh, I think unless you guys had some things to do, I just need to have a quick chat with the coach about you know what we're gonna do about the hockey team. And then I think we had a due date over at my uncle's fishing lodge.
Sure. Nathan's just going to be finishing up debate practice and, picking up all of the papers that get knocked out of his hands in the hallways.
One hopes that doesn't. One hopes for the sake of those who are doing it that doesn't happen in front of Ty.
And uh, Ethan is just gonna kind of tag along with Nathan. He doesn't have too much going on.
All right, well, I'm not ready to actually have your coach on screen yet, so let's because I haven't actually created his character.
All right, then let's move on.
So let's begin as the 3 of you are coming together at the end of your errands.
Okay.
Getting ready to leave for the day.
No problem.
I think Kenny may have frozen.
He's still audible on this end.
I can hear you guys too, but bear with me while I restart Zoom. It has been crashing like heck today.
Hi, so occasionally we are infested with gremlins hereabout. I do apologize. I don't know what's causing them specifically today. It's probably because one of our friends has decided to see it for the first time. Hi, Mike.
Okay. Alrighty, let's see.
So,
Mike brings gremlins.
so just to catch everyone on board, here's what we've got on the books for today. By the way, I do apologize for the visuals that are going to be occurring for. Nope, that fixed really quick. Good. All right. Sorry, my thing's not set up for there to be 5 people in the Zoom chat. All right. So now that we're all back together, We are headed to my uncle's fishing lodge, which is remarkable in Whispering Peaks for one simple reason. It appears that beyond the occasional fish, and I'm going to be real with you, very occasional, my uncle is not very good at fishing, and this is not a particularly good spot. Um, Nobody has died here. And we can tell that because it is completely unhaunted somehow. Which makes it a perfect place for us to go do things that are going to quite seriously upset our Geists. We've got some extremely dangerous paperwork in our possession. I have some medical records belonging to a Miss Sarah Williams, and we have a
All
police.
right. Oh, go on. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just got back in.
Sorry, you've been staring for a moment. I thought you were all right here. And We have a police report belonging to, the incident that occurred at a certain gym nearby, likely to do with the death of Meathead. So, we're going to find out some real fun stuff today.
All right. Now that I have let things Jeff finish what he was saying. So the three of you are gathered up as you're leaving the school. Um, I would like everyone to roll me. Let's see. I would like everyone to roll me uh, composure plus empathy, please.
Oh, fun. I got a grand total of 3 dice on that.
Better than me. I got 2 because I'm taking an unskilled penalty.
One success.
One success.
Ethan and Ty, being somewhat observant, had noticed in particular that that the three of them were being stared at the past 2 days of class. Uh, Nathan hasn't noticed much of anything in that regard because the prom queen is very excited to be back in a classroom at Whispering Peaks High after manifesting in her spectral form. She spends most of the day poking around the classrooms, looking at anything that she can. Unfortunately, being a ghost, she's not able to pull out any books or anything, but finds the changes in material in the classroom since the 80s to be absolutely fascinating. And this is extremely distracting to someone who's sharing their head with a extremely excited young woman. So, since Ty and Ethan were aware of this stare, they are the first people, the first two of the group to notice that that stare is once again upon them.
Can I help you?
Ty turns around, staring at the group from down the hallway. Is a young woman, uh, one of their classmates. Uh, she has blonde hair with black streaks in it, and she's wearing a black skirt and a corset top as well. She's got a knee brace on her right knee and is leaning heavily on a cane. She takes she takes a few steps forward slowly, the cane thunking against the ground as she confronts the group. The girl frowns at them. Uh, the three of you recognize your new classmate, Chloe Adams. She used to be a cheerleader up until last year. That stopped being a thing when she fell off one of the pyramid formation in her junior year and broke her leg so bad that it's never fully healed. She needs the cane and brace to walk now. She looks from the three of you one by one. No one's asked you, so I'm just going to put it to you right now. How did you survive?
Just a second. I reach into my bag and grab the hockey stick and move it down to my hand and see if she watches my hand at all as it goes.
She does not appear to notice the cast-off hockey stick in your hand.
How do you know we did survive?
We got lucky. Don't be a
Nathan
smartass.
She
stares at her with a just completely blank look on his face and says, I just failed an exam for the first time in my entire high school career. I don't think I did survive.
Chloe bites her lip. You three are assholes, she says. You won't say a word. Why did you survive? Sarah didn't. You don't deserve it.
You know, here's the thing. Deserve has nothing to do with it. It was sheer fucking luck.
Listen,
Every
man.
day we walk through these hallways. We see the looks, we hear the whispers. Thank you, by the way, for actually fucking saying something to our face. The truth of the matter is, we didn't want to survive. Can you imagine what this is like? How traumatic. This everything that we're trying to work through, and then on top of that, we have a bitch like you approach us in the hall to pile guilt on top of it. Fuck off, leave.
I tried to get everybody out. I got the door open.
Your mic's not working.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello?
There you go.
You're back.
I got the back door of the bus open. I tried to get other people out. I saw other people running. I thought somebody else would have gotten away. I did everything I could. I'm sorry your friend didn't get it out. Nobody should have died that day. I don't know how I did. I guess I'm just another thing about being built this big. Sorry.
Chloe looks from Ethan to Ty to Nathan, with tears in her eyes. I think you're involved somehow. I think that's how you survive. I'm going to figure this out for Sarah, and then I'm going to turn you in. She turns away around and stomps off as fast as she can, given her legs.
Nathan is a little anxious and high strung right at this moment and was not expecting that confrontation. And there are two responses left to him. One is crying, and the other is laughing hysterically as she walks away. And unfortunately, it is the latter.
I pick up Nathan and start carrying them out. This is not the first time we've had a severe emotional reaction here. And, well, I'm physically large enough to move both of you under my arms. Remember, kids, everyone else here is a teenager, and Ty is for some reason built like an extremely tall adult. God bless genetics throwing up a Mickey.
As the three turn and begin to leave school, uh, Ty's chest glows and Be Aggressive manifests behind him. Uh, she is staring back at the door of the school silently, which is odd for her.
We'll catch up with her later, but we can't do anything about it now. We don't have any answers for her, and I have to make sure. Speaking of which, we have a date at my uncle's fishing shack. Come on, guys.
So Nathan's shitty little four-door Ford Fiesta is sitting in the parking lot.
We pile in.
You know, it's been so long that I actually forgot that teenagers could drive. Like, I was about to say, wait a second. But yeah, of course, you're in your senior year. You could get access to a car. All right, so the three of you arrive at the cabin. Would you like to set the scene?
So, my uncle's fishing lodge has a couple of things going on with it. One, my uncle hasn't been here for several years, and I only recently came and cleaned it up. So this place had much less to do with looking like a place people went to fish and more like a place people abandoned stuff for several years. Most of it's been piled into a corner in such a way as to cause minimal difficulties. Unlike everywhere else in Whispering Peaks, somehow this place isn't haunted. We don't know how, honestly. But the only things that have died here apparently are a couple of fish, and honestly, not that many. Because my uncle didn't come here to fish, my uncle came here to not be around his wife in the middle of their divorce. Um, they've since finished their divorce, and, well, now he doesn't need to come here so often. Um, since then, I've come in, I've cleaned it up, I've set up some chairs. There's a old antenna television in the corner, and I and I got one of those internet, the little cell phone internet thingies, the Wi-Fi ones. You know what I'm talking.
Hotspots.
Wi-Fi hotspots. Yeah. Here in case we needed to check anything. Um, I've also got a little bit of hockey gear set up, but that's about it. There's a generator outside, which I get started when we go inside.
Ethan and Nathan, did you bring anything or have anything with you that you wish to note?
Well, I have a couple of pieces of paperwork, but beyond that,
Well,
Uh,
yes, I know that, but Ethan and Nathan, what about you guys?
Nathan has his backpack with all of his schoolwork and all of his debate stuff. He also has the first aid kit, which he's now taken to carrying around obsessively, along with a coil of rope and a multi-tool in the back of his backpack, in the bottom of his backpack.
A quick reminder that here in the living world, you won't be able to use a first aid kit on ghosts. Unless it's a ghostly one.
well, that's what
Yeah, but they
fire
still
is.
have bodies.
That's what fire is for. Because I
Fire, fire.
because I can use it to convert the first aid kit into a cast-off. What do you think I meant? Anyways,
Um, so knowing that this may cause an incident, um, Ethan um, has brought snacks and uh, things to help him recover energy if things go awry and Meathead goes a bit far. Help him get his energy back.
All right. So, you want to go first, or do we do rock, paper, scissors?
Go for it.
All right. I flip out a piece of paper from the little packet of Sarah Williams's medical records and begin reading. Kenny, what do I see?
Alrighty, bear with me just a sec because I'm also taking a look. There we are. Just wanting to make sure I got this here. All right. So, uh, brings the paperwork that they procured from the Underworld bookshop out of his cast-off backpack. Uh, the paperwork, being cast-offs themselves, are translucent and blue and ghostly, but still legible. Sarah Williams' medical records are fairly clinical. It mentions a history over the past few years of coming in, complaining of symptoms including stomach pain, nausea, vomiting, and a lack of appetite. As you continue reading down, you see mention that as of late last year, or mid last year, in May, uh, a diagnosis was reached that Sarah had stage 3 adenocarcinoma, which is a cancer of the stomach, specifically of the mucus glands. Uh, it's mentioned that immediate radiation treatments were recommended, and there is a note at the bottom stating that the records are to be digitally archived, and for patient privacy, the paper copy is to be shredded.
Hence why there was a ghost of it around in the dead spaces. Wonderful.
So could you please roll, let's see. What is your synergy right now?
1. That's a
All
1.
right.
Chance die.
That means you're at a coercive relationship according to the relationship chart. And since be aggressive is entering a crisis point, roll a chance die, please.
Well, the dice god smiled today. That's a success at a 9.
Be aggressive attempts to read the paperwork over Ty's shoulder, being much less being much less tall than Ty. Be aggressive ends up scrabbling onto his shoulder and looking over from there, hunched on his shoulder like a small gargoyle in a cheerleader outfit. As she finishes reading, she grabs her head with both of her hands, her claws clacking against each other, and begins to wail. What do you say to her?
So, they took what little time you had left, huh? Well, the good news is we're going to find them. You and I, we're both going to track him down. We're going to get him. And now you're going to get to live every minute I've got with me. I'm going to make sure it's a good long time.
All right. So, Ty, you gain the bonding condition for having successfully interceded with Be Aggressive's crisis point.
Yay!
Be Aggressive listens and slowly climbs down off of Ty. her claws clacking on the wooden floor. She looks up at Ty and nods, growling "kill" under her breath.
Kill.
Also, you have completed the first stage of Be Aggressive's remembrance.
Woo!
We'll be discussing what your new remembrance trait will be later after session. So unfortunately, you won't have the access to that today.
I'll be fine.
But you do get a point of synergy, and since gaining a point of synergy resolves the bonding condition, you also get a synergy beat.
Woo!
That is a beat specifically used towards synergy.
Yay!
All right, Ethan, did you want to read the police report?
So I'm going to uh, stall for a little bit while I try and make minimize possible damage if things go awry, and then once I feel like I can't so I'm going to stall for a bit of time here in character and make preparations in case Meathead goes astray. But if after about 10 minutes, then he finally feels like he can't delay any longer and reads the report.
Noticing this happening, Ty just takes an extremely careful and quiet amount of time to put on his shiny new cast-off armor weapon, and because this lake house is surrounded by water, he preps his skates by the door.
Nathan very carefully stands behind Ty.
Meathead has manifested during all this, and he seems to be nervous as much as you can figure that he can look nervous. Being huge, skinless, and lacking a head. He has decided to stand over in the corner in a puddle of ghostly viscera, occasionally with some blood squirting out of the stump of his neck as his eyes, tongue, and bits of brain and meat orbit each other excitedly.
I I I take one final deep breath, nod to Meathead, and start reading.
So, this is a police report for an event that happened at the gym, which is now known as Houlihan's Gym, on June 4th, 2005. The deceased is written down as Harrison Houlihan, age 25. The police report mentions that Harrison Houlihan was killed when a 500-pound weight fell into his mouth, shattering his skull and breaking his vertebrae in multiple places from skull to collarbone. The report mentions that at the time the gym had been empty except for Harrison's friend, partner, and sometimes spotter, Todd Kimball. The detective who was writing the report mentions that it appears that the scene had been cleaned up and the security footage was missing. There is a note in red pen at the bottom. Malone, rewrite this shit. We cannot implicate the mayor's son in a murder or we'll all be out of jobs. burn this when you're done, or you're out of here. You think Whispering Peaks is the worst place you can go? It's not. So, you have one synergy as well, right? Roll that chance die, please.
Okay. Here, here, here. Can I roll my? Can I add my empathy score?
Uh, Interceding in your Geist's crisis point is a roll of the relationship dice pool,
Okay.
which at one synergy is coercive.
You'll get a better one if you succeed. And if not, you'll get a better one anyways, but we are going to have to beat him down until he's calm again. Which is going to be my day today. Wait, did we roll 2 successes on chance dice today?
Yes, sir.
All right, so
By the way, make sure you are rolling in. Never mind. Sorry.
yeah, it's in the Dead Clown Discord. Thank you very much for that, for using the new one. I know we had our own little server for that beforehand.
Yeah.
So, Ethan had noted nervously that while he was reading, one of Meathead's eyes were hovering over his shoulder. As they both finished the document, Meathead started shaking from his knees to his chest and into his arms. He fell down on all fours, kneeling on the ground, bashing the floor with one hand. Being in his immaterial state, this hand doesn't do anything, simply goes through the floor. But what did you say to him, Ethan, to intercede in his crisis point?
So, so I I go down on one knee next to him, put my hand on his shoulder, and just basically just focus in. Remember, control. Focus on the goal. Focus on where we're going, not where we are. Remember, perfection.
Meathead's tongue waggles in the air, and a few sprays of blood come from his ruined throat as he gurgles out the word, "Be perfect," and sits down cross-legged on the floor. You've gained the bonding condition, and also, as well, uh, finished your first stage of your remembrance with Meathead. This will, of course, get you a new remembrance trait. Same deal as with Ty. We'll talk about it later because we can't get into it during session.
Yeah.
You gain 1 point of synergy and 1 synergy beat. So congratulations. Everyone has now finished the first stage of their remembrance and has 2 synergy, which means your liminal aura now has the anchor condition all the time for all 3 of you.
Yay! Small piece of advice for anyone running a Geist game in the future. Just synergy too. Just synergy too. It's so hard to be a Geist at Synergy 1.
Yeah, being a Sin Eater with a Geist who doesn't really want to be your Geist is difficult.
So, now that we've got that taken care of, and for some reason, I didn't have to beat a ghost to death with a hockey stick today. Well, not death, but you know what I mean. Beat a ghost unconscious with a hockey stick today. I'm feeling a little all dressed up and nowhere to go. But, you know what? We did get what I wanted here today. So, uh, I think that there's only one way we're going to have the gym to ourselves long enough, and that's going to be going after closing, guys. And
I
it
mean, we could
is,
just go ahead.
and it's a while till closing. So, I think you told me that you wanted to show me your gaming rig.
Yeah, I got some games that I think you would appreciate. Nathan, you play very many games?
Oh yes, I play chess every single evening.
That does not surprise me.
Alrighty.
I do
So
want to ask you guys to do one thing here. I know that we've had this plan all week, but I do want you guys to justify in character the reason why you're going to the gym.
So, I discovered
In character.
I'm actually doing it in character.
Ah,
So, Ty discovered among the powers that he's been granted, because Ethan has been absolutely unwilling to stop talking about the powers and all of the cool ideas he's had. Um, I discovered that one of mine is the ability to play back events that had occurred. And the only thing I needed, apparently, was enough information about the event in question and for it to be an important enough event to have left a resonance around. Since we knew we had a bunch of paperwork that was going to give us the information we needed, we figured that after we had gotten the information, we could go see what happened and determine whether or not what we thought happened was the case. If it's an accident, I mean, we'll know, won't we? And if not, well, we'll know how and why and who and be able to follow up from there. That makes sense?
makes sense to me, but I was hoping that you guys would like have a little conversation or something about it.
Oh,
But you did what you needed. I just wanted you guys to explain to the audience what you were doing.
fair enough.
So, before we go to the gym, did you guys have anything else that you wanted to do?
We spend a couple of minutes making a skeleton key back at the at Ethan's house. There's plenty of materials there. Am I nicking myself, or do one of you guys want to donate blood today?
I can do it.
All right, so we perform the skeleton key ritual, writing down a password, breaking the bits off a key. Uh, in this case, I've been having some real trouble with the keys for my gym locker. It just keeps happening, Dad. I'm real sorry. Luckily, these padlocks are really fucking cheap. And I break the key off, and it looks like Nathan's going to cut himself with it.
The password, by the way, is M34TH34D.
And now this thing is prepared for whenever we open a door for it. This will open that door forever and ever, amen. And then we're going to go play some video games. Possibly for the first time in Ty's life. Probably not, but like, he seems like someone who's played maybe 3 or 4 total rounds of like Call of Duty.
Alrighty. So, the skeleton key that you're making, where is it for? Is it for the gym or for here?
For the gym. we're going after it's closed, so we're gonna need to be able to get in. And I figure it's a place we might want to be able to go back inside if it's the location of Meathead's murder.
Per the book, it does say that the key doesn't have to be made in the presence of the lock. It just opens the first lock it's used on. So, uh, Nathan's blood, take a point of bashing damage. Uh, I'll need whoever's doing the ceremony to roll resolve plus investigation.
Who's got a better one than me? I have 3.
I have 4.
Um, resolve, investigation, luck.
Shall I?
If you wouldn't mind. Makes sense, you're the one who bricked yourself. Dang!
Good
Roll
job.
4 dice, get 4 successes.
Nice.
So the skeleton key is prepped. Remember that it opens the first lock that it's used on, and then it becomes the skeleton key for that lock.
Yep. We currently have a key to the restricted section at the school library, and now we will have a key for this one.
All right. So time passes as the group plays video games. And eventually, yeah.
Nathan's going to spend a little bit of time on. I'm sure Ethan has extra computers, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Makes sense.
He's going to be doing some research into the local county assessor's office.
What for?
He's getting the blueprints for the gym and any revisions to that have occurred over the years.
Makes sense. So after the group heads over to Ethan's estate to play video games, Nathan is doing research, whereas Ethan and Ty are playing. Nathan, I'm gonna need you to roll me intelligence plus computer, please.
I used a willpower. 3 successes.
All right. Several hours of digging through the county assessor's websites and databases gives you a stack of blueprints showing the original layout of Houlihan's gym over the years and all the changes that have been made to it through the present. Consider this a library that will give you a +3 bonus on anything having to do with the gym itself and its architecture.
Hello,
Perfect. Thank
Kazi.
you.
Hello, Kazi. Please do not
Aw.
chew on the microphone this time.
Cosfer, eater of equipment.
So, anything else, or are you guys ready to head out to the gym?
We wait till closing time, or enough that we'll be arriving a bit after closing time, and then we head on over.
All right. Houlihan's gym is the only gym in Whispering Peaks. Famously, Old Man Houlihan bans anybody who talks about the gym being haunted. It being the only gym in town, it doesn't keep 24-hour open access and closes around 10 p.m. So Are you guys arriving around 10 p.m. on the dot, 10:30, 11? When?
I think we want to give him at least an hour because most places close down for a while to like clean up, and I figure after that point, likely the staff will have gone. Uh, Straightforwardly, we drive past and see if there are any cars still parked out front, and if there are, we go, oh, wait another half hour until there aren't. I don't think the
All
dude lives
right.
there.
Ethan, roll me a chance die, please.
Yeah, give me just a sec here. There. Okay. Nope. Fail.
So, uh, when you check the place out, you do see one car in the parking lot. You wait 30 minutes and come back around. The car is still there.
Fuck.
Would you like to wait some more?
Your call, Ethan. This is your rodeo.
Let's give it another hour.
All right, roll me a chance die, please.
We go hit Wendy's.
No
All right, you
dice.
said an hour, so I'll let you roll one more time.
May I suggest throwing a willpower at this next one if it fails?
Can we do that with luck dice?
It's, I
I'm
believe,
not
can.
going to let you in this case because it's not a chance die uh because you have a bad set of skills.
Hmm.
It's because I'm simply leaving this directly to luck, like flipping a coin.
Gotcha.
No dice. All right.
It's midnight. So,
Okay, I have an idea.
Okay.
Get out of the car.
Okay. I get out of the
What was
car.
that?
I told both Ethan and Ty to get out of the car. We
I
are
climb.
not in the parking lot right now.
I climb out.
Nathan gets out, stabs his left rear tire with his multi-tool, and gets back into the car and rolls it into the parking lot, knocking on the door to get attention.
All right, that's an interesting plan. So after a few minutes, uh, someone comes to open the door. Someone that the three of you immediately recognize. An old man with red hair fading to gray. He's still fairly muscular, even though you figure back in his prime, well, he must have been twice or three times the size. These days, though, his bones simply can't take the stress, so he walks slowly. Old man Houlihan opens the door and glares at the three of you. In his other hand, he has a massive cup of coffee, and you can clearly see that he's got bags under his eyes. We're closed. What do you three need?
I think it's actually just me, right?
Yeah, we didn't go with.
You're the one there, but all three of you can be there if you want, but
We
sure.
don't want to be there. We have fucked off into what amounts to the bushes, or at least
Well,
I
what do
have.
you want, kid? In that case, he says, "What do you want, kid?"
Excuse me, Mr. Houlihan. I'm real sorry to bother you so late. I didn't even know if you were still here, but I got a flat tire and I don't know how to fix it.
Old
I
man
don't I
Houlihan.
don't need you to do it for me. I know that I mean I can do it. I just need you to help me. understand and walk me through it.
All right, give me manipulation plus expression. No, no, persuasion or socialize, whichever one you prefer.
Can I do composure plus persuasion? It is midnight.
I don't think that's appropriate, but you
Fair enough.
do also have the option to use your remembrance trait.
If you want to grab some extra socialize. Or was it
What is his, would this be a de-escalation with me talking right now?
Well, he's
Trying to
not
calm him down.
mad at you.
Okay.
He's not like particularly mad at you. He's just wondering what the fuck you're doing here.
All right, I'm going to use manipulation plus persuasion. Two successes with a willpower.
Old man Houlihan sighs deeply and steps outside, closing the door behind him. All right, kid. You say you got, you know what you're doing, but you need some help. Get your, get your replacement tire or your kit or whatever you're using, and I'll try to walk you through it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
So, just going to have a quick conversation we had that would have made sense to have had happen in the car on here. Hey, person who did a bunch of research, are there more than one exit to this building?
Kenny, is there more than one exit to this building?
Well, you've definitely looked at the blueprints that you procured, so I'm not going to make you roll for this. Uh, Beyond the customer-facing entrance, there is an employee entrance and exit in the back facing the alleyway.
Speaking of which, do you know where Ty and Ethan are? By coincidence, it's in the back, by that door. Opening it with a particularly interesting key.
All right.
So
So I want to.
can I ask things that I, a person in this setting, might know that I, the person who is not in this setting, don't? How is the deceased related to the Houlihan that's currently helping Nathan change a tire? Do we know that?
Not off the top of your head, no.
Okay. Worth asking.
It is definitely striking that they share the same last name, though.
I think it's his kid, but I don't have any proof of that. As in, this person, dead kid, is Meathead, but I've got no proof of that. Anyways, so, let's scurry on in, shall we?
Yeah.
So, we've been given a bit of time, and I don't have any capacity to do anything other than help here, so, Ethan, you're on your own once I do this. So, I invoke my haunt, the Memoria. I roll my shiny 2 new synergy plus 2 Memoria, and then I add 3 from the Key of Stillness. The Key of Stillness, I take on the Doom condition, which means I cannot talk at all until this is over. If I do talk, it immediately ends the haunt. Period. End of sentence. Good luck. So let's talk about the Memoria. I am going to be summoning up a vision of what occurred based on summoning the event by having 3 pieces of knowledge.
Now, I think you should. I think now is a good time to use our rules view.
That'd be way smarter than what I'm doing right now. That would be incredibly sensible and something I should have theoretically been preparing this whole time. In fact, that should have already been ready and would have made way more sense than me just sitting here completely trying to stall so I can get to the
Okay.
right part of a page. Anyways,
While we're doing that, I do want to ask Nathan, do you plan on distracting Old Man Houlihan the entire time?
Oh yes, absolutely.
he's going to be absolutely terrible at it, I think.
How much does a tire weigh?
Off the top of my head, I don't know. Give me a sec.
Quite a bit.
All right, according to Google, between 15 to 22 pounds.
That's a lot. That's like multiple gallons of milk.
Okay. Jeff,
Mm-hmm. Anyways,
give me a second here. Will that do for now? Just to keep things moving?
yep. Anyways,
So first off, are you simply using the one dot recall the memoria or the two dot denouement?
denouement. I'm going to be projecting it onto the wall so other people can see it.
Okay.
Hooray! So how many plasm do you want to spend? You
Um,
can spend up to 5.
I'm going to be spending 5. So we spend a
All
round
right.
staring at a wall, and then I manage to get to the second round where I'm able to spend the other 2. A round is like 10 seconds. Y'all can wait for it.
Jeff,
Anyways,
So how many plasm are you spending?
5.
All right. So mark that on your character sheet that you've spent 5 oh, wait a second. You unlock the key of stillness. You get 5 plasm from that, you're spending 5, then you're fine.
yeah, you don't even need to spend the extra time to
Because it just loads automatically. Anyways, so uh, basically what's happened is I'm instead of experiencing the visions of the past, I'm playing them on the wall, so you guys are all going to get to see the show. I'm serving as a movie projector for tonight. Anyways,
All right.
Ethan,
Do
this
you
is
want to
your problem
describe
now.
how you All right,
Okay.
before we switch over to Ethan, do you want to describe how you are doing this?
I actually have kind of a fun vision of this. So Nathan, sorry, Ty died by fire. Ty was burned to death by molten stuff, and in his ghostly presence, that ghost bit still inside him, that fire still remains burning inside of him. He opens up his mouth as if to unhinge it, and coming out of him like a movie projector, playing on the wall, and then spreading out to fill the entire space, a light of the past.
All right. So, Ethan, you guys are in the middle of the gym now. The old man Houlihan is in the parking lot with Nathan. Considering where you're at, if old man Houlihan turns around, he will immediately see that something is happening. So just want to make sure that I'll let you know this because Nathan's going to have to roll a couple times to keep the distraction going.
Speaking of which, I'm taking a seat behind some equipment that should obscure me immediately directly from view. He'll know somebody's in here. I'm too obvious not to, but I hope that my physical body and face will not be immediately visible from the door. There's
yeah.
lots of equipment in this place. I don't think that's hard to justify.
I'm gonna be doing the same thing, kind of following the movie, but trying to stay out of sight from the windows and doors and stuff.
All right. And also, Ty, you gain the Memoria condition with 5 charges. So you can use those charges for the benefits mentioned in the Memoria Hunt.
Which are currently.
You can spend a charge to gain 8 again on one roll related to investigating the event or working to resolve the unfinished trauma. And you can also spend a charge on learning something from the memory that can be used as soft leverage in a social maneuver. Using this leverage will remove 1 door in addition to improving the impression level. So, now that we've got the bookkeeping out of the way, are you ready, Ethan? So, uh, Plasm exits Ty's mouth and weaves with the light to create the 3-dimensional holographic effect of the Memoria. The gem looks different now. The equipment is all completely different, much older stuff, and branded like one of those gym franchises that you would have seen in bigger cities. But you don't recognize this one. It looks like it was possibly before your time. Uh, there are 2 people standing in the gym. One, a large man in a Metallica t-shirt with no sleeves, with red hair cut very short. Beside him is a second man. He's several inches shorter and has blonde hair and is wearing glasses. The blonde man is currently working on a shoulder press machine. The red-haired one is occasionally stepping in to provide some assistance if the blonde man needs it. The blonde man looks up from his workout and grins at the red-haired one and says, "Okay, Harrison, you lost me. So, explain this scheme of yours to me again." "It's not a scheme, Todd," says the red-haired man. "It's a business plan. So, what's gonna happen? My dad and me are gonna buy this place. But we need some leverage. So you see, that's where Crunch Quest comes in. The blonde man, Todd, frowns and says, "I don't get it. How does Crunch Quest help you buy a gem?" "Well, if I win if I win the championship at Crunch Quest, then I can move on to Mr. Olympia down in Las Vegas. That kind of title would definitely help give me some leverage. It wouldn't be some rando trying to buy the gym. It'd be award-winning bodybuilder Harrison Houlihan and his dad opening this place up as Houlihan and Sons Gym. I can see it now." Todd gets off the machine and they head over to a bench press machine. Uh, Harrison sits on it and then grins. You know, my dad always wanted to win Crunch Quest, but he never got a chance. Not after that leg injury. He can't he can't squat anything heavier than 100 pounds now. Not if he doesn't want to be doesn't want to be able to, not if he still wants to be able to walk for the rest of the day. Todd grins up at him. That doesn't sound grins down at him. That doesn't sound like something that would make a bodybuilder feel very good about himself. And Harrison sighs and shakes his head and says, "No, I don't think Dad got over it ever." So in the parking lot, Old Man Houlihan and Nathan are still working on the tire. What's going on currently, Nathan?
Nathan has just located his spare tire. It took him a while of searching for it. He looked in the back seat. He looked under the car. He looked in the trunk. And then, after about 5 minutes of searching with Mr. Houlihan's help, he looked underneath the lining in the back trunk and found it. And he has just pulled it out of the trunk laboriously and fallen over with it on top of himself in the direction opposite the gym.
Okay, let's see. So you dropped the tire, right?
I pulled it out of the trunk like this, and it hit me in the chest, and I fell backwards on my ass.
So you're pinned under the tire.
Yes.
So are you putting on an act to fool Mr. Houlihan into spending more time out here? Or is this a legit thing?
Uh, it's a little of both. The falling was unplanned.
All right, in that case, let's say presence plus expression.
Two successes.
Old Man Houlihan sighs heavily and bends down to help Nathan get the tire off of him. Kid, you don't look like you weigh more than 100 pounds. You really should start working out.
I thought about it, but I don't know. It's a lot of big guys in the gym.
As Mr. Houlihan is about to say something, uh, he uh, he notices the light. What's that light from inside? Before he's turning around, before he turns around, you're going to need to do something to distract him from looking back in.
Uh,
You, there's a.
uh, what?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Unless you want help.
The only thing I can think of is accidentally hitting myself in the head with a tire iron, so please help.
I'm just thinking a big clattering noise of dropping the tire iron or whatever would probably do it.
Okay, yeah. So, Nathan drops the tire iron directly on his ankle and subsequently screams because that hurts.
All right, give me manipulation plus expression.
Added a willpower. 4 successes.
All right. When you drop the tire iron and scream, Mr. Houlihan freezes mid-movement and then turns back towards you, hobbling over to the trunk of the car to help you back up. Okay, kid, are you sure you just don't want me to do this myself? I don't know if you're even built to do this.
No, sir, I promise I can do this. My dad's just not around, and I know I can do it.
Okay, so we're going to go back inside now.
Good, so we don't have to force an old man to re-witness his child's death. Note, that was said out of character. I have not just destroyed this thing. I'm not saying these things out loud in character.
So, Ethan watches as the Memoria continues. Harrison lays down, and Todd brings the bar up and starts putting weight on. So, you want to work on your 1 rep max, Harry? Yeah, let's do it, says Harrison. Okay, so what are you up to now? 400, 450? Yeah, I can do 480 pretty easy, but let's live a little dangerously. Bring me up to 5. Todd puts more weight on the bar. Harrison lifts it once and then, with a grunt, lets it fall back into the slot. Oh, okay, okay. I did it, but I need to be able to do this consistently. He tries again, and the weight falls back into its slot after only a second or two. My arm! He starts rubbing one arm with the other. God, my traps hurt. Come on, Harry, you can do it, says Todd. Let me spot you one. So he stands over Harrison and grabs onto the weight and helps him lift it up high. Come on, higher, Harry, higher. He moves the weight as high as he can, and you can see that his arms are kind of shaking a little. The weight is out of sync with the area where the bar would go. And at this point, Todd pulls up hard on it and brings it in just a couple of inches up towards Harrison's face. Todd grins, looking down at him with the light shining into his glasses. You know, Harry, I think it's cute that you want you and your dad to own this gym, and you think that winning Crunch Quest would actually get you closer to it. But that's not going to happen, because I'm going to win. Harrison laughs and says, yeah, sure you are, Todd. Shit talk later. This is hard. It's not just shit talk, Harry. You aren't good at this. You're cruising on your natural mass, but you don't have the dedication to be a real bodybuilder. The fuck are you saying, Todd? Well, what I'm saying, Harry, he says, and then moves his hands down to where Harrison's hands are gripping the bar, and smacks them as hard as he can. Is eat the bar. Harrison drops the weight directly onto his teeth. with a sickening crunch and splat, you can see his head pulled off his body into the parking lot. Uh, the noise of the Memoria causes Old Man Houlihan to look up. What was that? I think I heard something inside the gym.
I think it was just the tire iron, sir. It keeps getting a little out of hand, and it keeps clanking against the the part inside the hard part with the metal, not the rubber, but the metal, but not the inside, but the outside.
All right. Give me a roll here. Justify something for me.
All
Because you're
right,
going to
let's
need to distract
say
this old man.
wits plus persuasion.
I don't think wits would be appropriate for this. Uh, can you explain why you think wits would work? Just real quick. Maybe you could talk me into it.
Because I have to craft this really carefully and I heard the sound and I'm gonna have to reproduce it with the tire iron again.
Actually, be my guest then. I'm
Excellent.
going to tell you that you need to roll at a -1 penalty.
Three successes.
Old Man Houlihan looks down. Okay. Dang. Uh, well, let's get this over with then. He gets back to helping you with the tire iron and the tire. Right, back inside the gym. At this point in the Memoria, Harrison is very clearly dead. Uh, Todd has disappeared out of the room and comes back with a plastic tub full of supplies. And you see him start moving things around, cleaning up some of the mess, etc. After 5 to 10 minutes of this, the Memoria ends. The light goes off, and the holographic image of the memory fades into bluish smoke, which disappears.
Out of character moment. I am still in possession of charges.
I can't hear you.
Hello? Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I am still in possession of charges of the Memoria trait, and those will not go away if I physically move from the location. I only have to use up the charges or break it by speaking. However, I have shown you guys the whole movie, so we don't need to be here anymore.
Yeah, the Memoria condition doesn't end when the haunts end.
I just...
The Memoria condition ends when all charges are spent, or when you resolve, or when the condition is resolved by being confronted with your Geist's ban or bane, or failing to intercede in a crisis point.
Speaking of crisis
Caused by
point,
memory.
let's see. Does this count as a crisis point? Let's be honest.
Meathead had already read about what happened with you earlier today, so it seems like when he manifested to watch, while it definitely had an effect on him, he didn't seem to get overly agitated.
Okay, that's good.
His eyes were flying around the scene like two small camera drones, taking everything in from every angle as he ineffectually beat his ghostly fist against the counter. But other than that, after everything was done, he mimicked the effect of taking a deep breath, causing the blood in his chest to gurgle, and then calmed down completely.
Describing a moment. As Ethan looks over at the no longer projecting Ty, he notices something. Though the light is no longer vomiting forth from his mouth, the thing I spent some plasm on. Forgot to mention that explicitly, but I did spend some plasm on that. Uh, I believe this is just a large room, Kenny.
Yeah.
So that was 2 plasm I spent on that. Um, you notice that that same eerie light is still visible behind my eyes, and you are noticing that there aren't really pupils there. You're gonna need to probably lead me out because I'm a little lost.
The echo's condition or something.
No, I'm just role playing the fact that I'm still kind of stuck in the Memoria condition. I think it's more interesting if I'm actually still experiencing these memories in my head until I'm willing to break this thing. But I thought
Fair
that would be.
enough.
Give me
All right.
just a moment here. So you said that uh, we can spend the charges to get bonuses to this, right?
Yeah, there are
8
two
again.
specific. Yeah, there are two specific things you can use the charges of the Memoria on, unless you used a uh, something, an enhancement that would give you extra. The two bonuses that you can spend charges on are to get 8 again on a roll related to investigating the event or working through the unresolved trauma related to it. Or you can spend a charge to use something from the memory as soft leverage in a social maneuver.
I would, with your permission, there's so so now that the thing is done, we can hide better, right? So what I'm thinking is is we we want to I want to see if I can find this Todd character's phone number, and then using uh, a throwaway phone number that I have through uh, a VoIP account on, 8x8 or whatever random VoIP service. I'd like to call him and recreate the conversation just before Meathead's death. What you got, Jeff?
Okay.
May I speak in out of character? I would wish to remind you that one of the things that you can do as a Geist through a ritual, and I believe we explicitly talked about this as a thing we could do for our Geists, is speak in the voice of the dead.
Yeah, it's the uh, it's wanting to use that as an basically a I'm going to put the fear of God in this man.
Well, I don't see why you can't use the Speaker for the Dead ceremony for this. So, Speaker for the Dead, offer yourself as a conduit for the dead, allowing the ghost to speak from your mouth in their own voice. Subject, one ghost within earshot. I don't see why you shouldn't be able to use it on your Geist, same as I said before. So they are the subject. The dice roll will be stamina and composure. Can you describe to me the ritual that you're enacting to use the speaker for the dead ceremony?
So
Oh, and do you want to do this inside of the gym?
Do we
I
have to still be here?
yeah. So basically first thing I want to do is like retreat to like the restroom or something like that or
we
the locker room.
we can leave, you know. We can leave.
Oh, we can? I thought
Yes.
I thought you said you lose the charges if
No, the only thing that'll make me lose the charges is opening my mouth in character. That's the only thing we can't do. You just got to get
okay.
me out of here cuz I'm kind of too busy being unable to tell reality from the old gym. The place has been remade several
Okay.
times. I'm going
Okay.
to walk over
So
equipment.
so I'll guide Ty outside.
And then if you want to do the ritual outside or if you want to go somewhere else, we can do either one.
Um
But
okay. So what I'm thinking is um we'll we'll go away for a little bit or walk away from the gym and then text Nathan saying that we've cleared out. And once we're to a more secluded spot, then we'll do the ritual.
all right. And to help this man who is so much larger than yourself out of the gym successfully while he is busy uh, looking at the gym as it was in 2005, roll me dexterity plus athletics.
Okay. One success.
And that is still a success.
Hey.
Congratulations. So you're able to guide Ty out of the gym successfully. So, this being done, uh, where do you want to perform the ritual? Out here in the alley, or do you want to head back to where Nate is and go do it there? Go do it somewhere else.
Um, yeah, let's go ahead and meet back up with Nate and head somewhere else. I want to try and do this with a little more privacy than what is public, what is allowed in public. So,
So, I'm being led around with my brain stewing in all of these memories. And I'm going over every minute I can, flooding in and out, trying to understand what's happening here. Um, I'd like to make a wits plus investigation roll looking at the full kit that was here. Does it look like stuff this man has used before? Or does this look like something that was assembled specifically for this incident? As in, is this his murder kit or is this his murdering Harrison kit?
All right, you can certainly make that roll. Let's see. Uh, do you want to use a charge of the Memoria to get 8 again?
I absolutely do. It is one of the things I am allowed to do right now.
Yep.
As they say, a success.
it's a success.
In the plastic tub, he has a number of cleaning agents that appear to be, well, haphazardly tossed together. Like if you were planning on cleaning up a murder, you don't think you would have got most of this stuff. It appears that he was extremely ill prepared. By the way, write that down in your equipment as a 1 dot clue. Oh, I'll do that. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I'm being silly here.
And I'm going to guess that the police report is probably a clue of some variety that we can talk about later.
Yep, since you've gotten it specifically from here. All right. Anything else that you wanted to do here? Because you do still have 4 charges of the Memoria.
Straightforwardly,
So
are either of you guys going to use them?
yeah, that's what I was trying to do with the whole
Called
calling the calling the dude and freaking. I was going to use
to try
the
and get him to give up data or force a confession.
yeah
Gotcha. Cool. Let's go do that.
yeah put the fear of God in them basically.
All right.
Okay. So the other 2 of you arrive back in the parking lot. Uh, at this point, Nathan and Old Man Houlihan have gotten the tire back on the car. All right, kid, you're good to go. Let's try not to make a habit out of this.
Thank you so much, Mr. Houlihan. I can't tell you how much this means to me. I couldn't call my dad because I don't even know what time zone he's in right now. But you were here, and I texted these guys, "Hey, you guys finally got here," and they must have walked all the way out here in the middle of the night. But I really want to thank you for taking the time because this is really just a lot.
He frowns and says, well, you're welcome. Just maybe your dad should be here. It shouldn't be someone else that has to help their kid with something like this, you know?
If I was to come take uh I don't know what you call tutoring in the gym business. Do you do tutoring?
Training? Yeah, we've got some personal trainers here.
I might sign up for that. Thank you for
All
your help
right,
tonight.
no problem. And come in during the daytime when we're open to talk about membership and personal training.
Why are you here so late?
He looks around at the 3 of you. You can, now that the 2 of you are back, and, well, not Ty, really, but the other 2 of you are back. Uh, you can see that the bags under his eyes are even worse than you would have thought. Uh, it takes a couple hours after close to go over all the security footage. We've got a ton of cameras all over the gym. I don't know if you kids are aware, but before I bought this place, there was a pretty nasty accident around here, and there's still rumors about it to this day. You might hear folks talking about a ghost around here. That's the accident I'm talking about. So I'm always triple checking the security footage to make sure everything is okay. I can't let anyone else be hurt here.
Yeah, I understand that. Uh, can we have an out of character moment, Jeff, instead of you just motioning? I'm not good at charades.
I'm sorry, I was playing into the character a little bit.
Okay.
do we tell him?
That's up to Ethan.
So
I got the plasm,
in
but it's your call.
You would have to uh, recall the Memoria again if you want to show him that.
so what I'm gonna do is I turn to Meathead and place my hand on his shoulder and and press my and put my forehead to his chest, taking taking on his voice.
All right. Let's make that roll for Speaker for the Dead. Give me a moment. I'll pull it back up. That sounds like a good ritual for me. It's stamina plus composure.
Alrighty. And closure. Alright, so that's gonna be 6. And then I'm gonna do a willpower for this as well. 1 success.
All right. So this allows Meathead to speak through you with a recognizable voice uh, for until the end of the scene. Uh, in this case, I am gonna let you play for Meathead. What are you gonna say? Since you've just done a ritual that within eye shot of this guy to get this power.
You always were a stubborn old man. Go to bed already.
Okay, bear with me a moment. I need to make a couple rolls.
This poor guy. I feel so bad for him.
Which is why I want to tell him.
How much plasma did that cost me, by the way?
That is not how ceremonies work.
Ceremonies do not cost plasma. Since
Oh,
they're
okay.
part of how the universe works, anyone and
Mm,
anybody can do a ceremony.
okay.
If you showed Old Man Houlihan how to do this ritual and he was somehow capable of communicating a ghost to be in the right positioning for the ritual, he could do it. Just off camera, Olive has decided to climb 3 shelves high, surrounded by a bunch of stuff, and I just want people to know if there's a crashing noise and I suddenly disappear off camera, that is
Oh,
why.
All right. So Old Man Houlihan stumbles back, uh, his mouth agape. He stares at you for several minutes before shuffling back into the gym as fast as his legs can take him, uh, completely dropping his cup of coffee, locking the door, and running to his office.
He's gonna see the footage. I say, ending the Memoria condition.
So you're not going to call Todd with his voice then?
No, I am.
Ah, yeah, I'm dumb. You're the Memoria condition and that don't matter.
I'm sorry, guys, but that kinda Ty kinda lost track of what was going on at that point.
So resolve your Doom condition and resolve the Memoria condition with a beat for each. All right, so where are you guys going to get in touch with Todd at midnight?
Just someplace away from people that can hear. Doesn't I guess it really doesn't matter where. So I guess the traditional spot is a public park. Isn't that where teenagers go?
What if we go to your streaming studio?
Okay.
Because then I also have access to the internet while you're doing that to see if I can scrub the CCTV footage from the gym.
Okay. Sounds good.
Alrighty.
Sorry for burning the charges, guys, but that was kind of a whole different moment there.
Mhm.
So, you arrive back at the streaming studio, and Ethan prepares for the phone call. Uh, Todd Kimball is easily found in the phone book or whatever online service that the phone book has metamorphosed into.
It's still the
Uh,
fun book.
Meanwhile, I'm going to want intelligence or wits plus computer as an extended action for, say, 10 successes to successfully scrub the footage.
Okie doke.
Mind if I join in?
Please.
Make it a team effort.
Yeah.
You said wits plus computers, right?
Wits or intelligence plus computers.
Okay.
You know how teamwork works. Who's going to be the assist and who's going to be the main one?
I've got 5 on this roll. What about you?
If we go with intelligence, I have 9.
Okay. I've only got 4 on that roll, but I'll assist.
Okay.
I'll live, everyone.
For a second, I thought you had 9 intelligence, and I was like, no, you don't. And then I'm like, oh, 9 dice.
All right, so add 2.
Okay. It's 3 successes.
All right.
And again.
And again then.
Three successes.
All right, 4 successes remaining.
Add 2.
2 successes remaining. Well,
4
sorry.
successes.
All right, so you did that in 3 rolls. It took about 30 minutes to scrub the footage fully from by hacking in remotely.
Mhm.
You're unsure whether or not Old Man Houlihan will have checked the security footage within that 30 minutes. However, it's gone now. Unless he checked within that 30-minute time frame, you've managed it successfully.
What's up, Jeff?
So, just to be straightforward, the footage showed the whole magical thing we did, right?
Your mic is being weird. Can you lift it up?
So, just to be very clear, the footage showed the whole magical thing we did, right?
Yes, anyone can see the effect of the Memoria when you use the 2-dot denouement.
So, quick question for me. You guys, when you grabbed it, you grabbed it instead of just deleting it, right?
Mhm.
Good.
Yeah.
That was a really smart thing you did.
We'll go ahead and consider that the retroactive spending of one of the charges on the soft leverage.
Okay.
Consider the footage to be leverage if you use it in a confrontation.
Okay.
All
Like what?
All right. Now the ball's in your part. You said you wanted to make that call?
Yeah. So basically, before I make this call, I'm going to be connecting to a VPN and all that stuff, and I'm using a throwaway phone number.
Good old VoIP.
Yep.
I would like it noted that we used the VPN while we were hacking as well.
Of course we've got a VPN. We're streamers. We're using NordVPN.
We're not sponsored.
Alrighty.
Sorry, I couldn't
So you're
stop
making the
myself.
call, right?
Yeah. Um.
The
Sorry, bud.
Oh, I was just gonna get started, but if you had something to say first.
Um. I was actually kind of hoping to invoke my was it the great what is it? Uh, one of my keys so that I can activate the call so that I can add uh
So,
meathead's power stat to my presence so that for when I roll intimidate.
do you want to have to kill some? Sorry, do you want to have to sacrifice somebody else to get rid of the doom condition? Do you want to not have a doom condition, or do you want to have to break a precious object to avoid boiling alive?
This is important. We'll do the key of the pyre.
All right. Pyre Flame Key, the doomed condition. You will now be developing the extreme heat condition until you destroy a precious object, either something expensive or something meaningful to you.
Mhm.
When does that resolve on its own? Because I know it does, or it goes away without resolving.
I will look.
Um,
I will look that up
I'm
in
looking
30 to 40 seconds.
the key to ending this tilt is simple. You get out of the gas extreme heat doom. Uh, it looks like it only so it is 10 minus synergy hours. So it'd be 8 hours. Or until I deliberately destroy something expensive or of personal high personal value.
Uh, to note, you will boil yourself to unconsciousness if you go the extreme heat
Mhm.
way.
Yeah. I got a PS5.
Hey, looks like Zoom is about to crash on my end again.
Okay.
I will be right back.
All right.
So, let's catch everybody up and have a quick talk about what we're doing. Sorry again for burning the charges, but um, it felt like the right time for I to talk. I don't know a better way to explain it. Sorry.
It's all good.
I'm playing this a little by ear too. Hi there, everyone, having really fun visuals for a moment.
Alrighty. So let's see.
All right, I'm back.
We'll be back to normal in a moment, folks. I do apologize, but I can't make a fifth window go away. There we are. All right. Everybody good? Kenny, you good?
Yep, I'm good.
All right. So,
All right.
shall we call and threaten the man?
So
Oh, all right. So you wanted to use the call hunt.
yes.
All righty. That will be a roll of
Synergy.
synergy plus call.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm still not used to the supernatural powers being such an easy roll.
Yeah, I know, right?
And you can spend up to 5 plasm.
Okay. And what does the additional plasm do for me?
Extra charges.
Uh, Extra charges.
Okay.
So if you feel like you only want to make one roll with the call, then you don't need to spend more than one.
But you tilted
Well,
a
I mean,
key, might as well use all 5.
yeah.
All right. So Ethan, his skin all red from the heat that he feels within his body, extrudes the call. Please set the scene for us, Ethan, and explain what's happening.
So with the call, basically, um, Meathead is kind of superimposed over me. Um, I wear I yeah, we're kind of fusion dance, basically. Um, so um, how this looks in how this looks is the ectoplasm covers uh, oozes out and covers Ethan, and as it peels back, exposing Ethan's skin or muscles under his skin like meathead, and you can and you can see the every little you know tendon and yeah um and his head aside from his eyes uh, go kind of ethereal, kind of see through. So
All right. Gain the call condition with 5 charges. You may spend the charges on the following effects. 1. Gain an exceptional success on 3 successes instead of 5 when your viscous body would aid you, like getting into tight spaces, intimidating the living, grappling, etc. Um, 2. Or ignore wound penalties for 1 turn. And 3. Substitute one of your Geist attributes for yours in the same category for an action. Power for strength, intelligence, or presence, finesse for dexterity, wits, or manipulation, and resistance for stamina, resolve, and composure.
alrighty, and I have 6 charges, right? One plus the 5 that I spent. Is that correct?
You can spend 1 to 5 for charges. So if you spent 5 plasm, you get 5 charges.
Yeah, because I was using the key. So
Well,
alrighty,
the key gives you 5 free plasm, so this means that we'll use it up completely.
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
By the way, you don't have to dip into your own.
Mhm.
All right. With the call in place, do you want to make the call?
Let's do this.
All right. So Ethan, wearing the call with over his body, fusing him with Meathead, uh, makes the phone call. The phone rings for a minute or two before finally someone picks it up. A agitated male voice goes, "Todd Kimball speaking. What do you want?"
And and once I hear that, using uh Harry's voice, I I say the first thing that that Meathead had said to him bef in that conversation.
We're
So
pl-
in the
we're playing back the
basically I'm
conversation non-interactively. It's just
yeah,
happening over the phone at him.
yeah.
All right.
Seems like
Who
a
the
very
fuck
good.
is this? He says.
I, I continue uh the one side of the conversation.
So the conversation of that fateful night ongoing, you can hear the agitation grow in Todd's voice. What do you think you're doing?
So so basically once I get to the end of the conversation, that's when the at the very end of the conversation, instead of doing Harry's or Meathead's side of the conversation, I switch to his. What I'm saying is, eat the bar in Harry's voice.
All right. So that would be a presence plus intimidation roll.
Mhm. This is what the call was for. So I'm going to be
Can I
using.
assist?
And I know just how you did it too, because you were prepping his lines for him. You had the video. Nobody had to remember anything. We've
That's
got the text.
that's so much better than what I thought because I was just gonna make woo noises in the background.
Yeah, sure. I'll let you use teamwork on it.
All right, Tibbs, what are you rolling?
Okay. So I'm so using the call, I'm going to be rolling 7 dice for to intimidate. Plus, I'm gonna spend another charge to make an exceptional success at with 3 successes.
All right. So 2 charges out of 5 spent.
Okay, but I need to know what the roll is.
Oh, presence plus intimidation.
Thank you. Plus
So
one.
take a 1 die bonus.
Okay, 8, and let's do another willpower here. All right, and here, and it is yeah, okay, 1 success.
So just to make sure, you said that you had 7 dice towards this, right?
Yes,
Plus 8. I mean, plus 1 for 8. And then you said you're going to use a willpower for this?
yes,
For re-rolling or for the plus 3 bonus?
but +3.
Then you need to roll roll again, please, because you rolled 8 dice, not eight, 11 dice.
Okay, my apologies. I see how this. Done.
Use all your bonuses, man.
Three
All down the.
successes.
And that's an exceptional, right?
Yes, it is.
We'll say. So the viscous vocal cords granted to you by the call are able to flip into Todd's voice, uh, ending the Speaker for the Dead ceremony, and speaking to him in his own voice. you can hear a loud crash, and then some noises that sounds like someone's fumbling with the phone. I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, says the voice on the other side of the phone, but my dad owns this town. He owns it, you hear me? Your ass is grass.
Still in Todd's voice. I remember. I'm still here. And I hang out.
Ah.
All right, do you want to dismiss the call, or do you want to hang on to it for a bit?
What do you guys think?
How many charges you got left?
3.
You've got a huge int score. Let's pry everything loose that you can on the internet about Todd. Hell, hack the fucking police records and look for every mention of his name. You're a brain in a jar right now, dude. Fucking use it.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so do you want to use 2 more charges then?
Yeah, let's see if we see what we can pry out of the police databases.
And do you want to assist again?
Yeah,
Because this is an
absolutely.
intelligence plus computer roll.
Yes, let me assist.
That has me at a -2 dice, so I'm not helping.
Ty looks very serious in the background.
Ty is popping popcorn, making snacks, filling water glasses. He knows when it's not his job.
All right, Nathan, do you wish to make this a dramatic failure?
No, this is not my scene.
Okay. This is basically going to be my last willpower here. But, yeah.
Question. What are your root and bloom again?
Okay. So, where is that?
Just a real quick question, because we've been doing a lot of stuff related to both the living and the dead here, and I bet we could call one if, you told me what they were.
Yeah. So the root I have is basically to encourage people to reconnect with their past and who they are and stuff like that.
I mean, what did you just do?
Yeah. And the bloom I have is encourage stepping outside people to step outside their comfort zones.
Well, I think you have made someone as uncomfortable as they ever will be in their life.
Yeah.
And
I think you're definitely. Yeah, you could do either one here because you're definitely helping Meathead reconnect to his past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's go with that one. That seems a little more reasonable than the other one.
Then take your willpower.
Yep. Once per scene, when your route leads you to give precedence to the dead or your own death, regain 1 willpower.
Okay. So I got 3 successes for an 8, which would be an exceptional success in this case.
All right. So you look up. The 2 of you look up information on Todd. Well, Ethan does mostly. Nathan attempts to help, but is unable to find anything that Ethan didn't already find. That said, what you find is that Todd Kimball is the 40-something son of Mayor Graham Kimball. He's currently the senior manager at the Farmer Kimball's grocery store. You look up more information on him, and while you find a lot of things here and there that might be useful, by which I mean I'm giving you a 3-dot library regarding Todd Kimball. The juiciest things that you find is this. Todd is leading a project to buy out the town's failing S-Mart and relaunch it as part of Farmer Kimball's new line of big box stores. Kimball's Place. The deal hasn't quite finalized, but they're expecting it to go through any day. So Todd Kimball is holding, and his staff, of course, are holding interviews for staff at the new store.
Hey, Ethan, you know what I think you need to get ready for?
Hmm.
You look like a man who needs a summer job.
I have some ideas. Um, yeah, yeah, I got some ideas.
All right, you have one charge of the call left. Do you want to dismiss it and get your beat for resolving the condition, or do you have anything else that you want to use it on before it goes bye-bye?
If I use it
It
and
didn't.
it dismisses, does that
Without
do I still get
resolving.
without resolving?
Yep. So,
Okay.
what's your bane and ban?
Give me just a second here to pull up.
Yeah, because if you want to resolve the call condition and get the beat for it, then the ways to do that: die or otherwise be rendered unconscious. Dismiss your Geist from your body willingly or unwillingly. The Geist suffers a crisis point, or you are confronted by your Geist's ban or bane.
Okay.
So, what's your ban and bane, dude?
Flaming head. Cannot turn down a challenge is the ban, and the bane is grease.
Oh. We are in an old fishing lodge.
No,
They-
we're in my streaming
Yeah,
spot.
we went to your streaming spot. Sorry, I got a mistake.
I mean,
You know what?
if you spend your charge before you're confronted with your ban or bane, it will end without resolving anyway. So this is a question of, do you have something that you want to use this power on while you got it,
Or do you want the
just want to
beat?
take your beat and end it?
So I'll just take the beat and end it.
Hey,
Oh.
Ethan.
Hmm.
Game of cards? Kick your ass.
You
No.
really can't have your cake and eat it too here.
Yeah. I think I'm just gonna have to dismiss it. It's a little too gamey to try and manipulate things. That's, you know what I mean?
Also, it just straight up isn't possible, because if you use that one charge, that will use the charge and dismiss the haunt, which means it ends without resolving, and you can't both end it without resolving and resolve it for a beat.
Yeah. So I just Ideally, I would like to resolve it for a beat, but
Okay.
Right?
Hey, hey, Ethan.
hmm,
That game you showed me earlier. Bet I can beat you now.
not worth it, man. Not the time. And I
So,
get.
did you have any other things that you wanted to do, or is this a place to call it for tonight?
I was gonna take my my PS5 out back and chuck and smash it on the ground.
Ah, so you want to resolve your Doom?
Mm, yeah,
All right,
Yeah, because he's
describe
about.
it to us.
yeah. So that's why I was asking if I spend the charge, would it resolve? Because I was going to use that last charge to bump up my strength and smash the PS5.
Yeah, that would be cool, but unfortunately, we this is a case where we really couldn't have the cake and eat it too.
Yeah, that's fine. Um, so yeah, Ethan, unplugs his or backs up his PS5 just to be sure, takes it outside and spends like 5 minutes destroying it as best as he can.
Am I recording this?
Yeah, sure, we'll put
It's
it up
content,
on
baby!
yeah.
And content is king.
Oh yeah.
Ty is not good at anything, but he can follow directions and stand very still. It's in fact something he's been doing for so long in much worse conditions than this. He may be the steadiest cameraman you've ever had. And I will roll stamina to prove it.
All right. So I think that ends our session here. So congratulations. Everyone take 3 beats. And now let's go over our aspirations and see what's been resolved. Who wants to go first?
I will go last. My computer is slow for the moment.
All right.
Then I will go. Ty Kinnison gets scouted for college hockey. Um, I got some help upgrading my rather slapdash highlight reel by an amazing friend of mine who has got how many points in expression do you have?
A lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's really good at this. So instead of being just a couple of things, he's actually got an actual role for it. So that's really good. Um, the find the son of a bitch who took everything from me. We got a really good lead, actually, a fantastic lead that connects them to one of the big murders that occurred in town. That feels very important.
Yeah, I'll give that to you.
Get some fucking answers. We know who killed Meathead. And we know that this is, in fact, Sarah Williams hunched over my shoulder. We actually have that answer. Become capable of greater violence. I am now in possession of some actual weaponry and armor that I can carry with me and protect me from ghosts. That would have been really,
True.
really, really handy, say, against a certain spiritual fuck with a couple of 5-irons. Um, and lastly, find someone we've lost. Well, we know what happened to Sarah.
Fair enough. All right, Tibbs.
All right. So get out of Whispering Peaks. Well, um, by getting back into the streaming and stuff like that, it's uh, I'm starting to get back to building my reputation more and getting known outside, in wider circles. Um, I the world record speed run. I did stream, so I was continuing to practice that.
Yep.
Learn the rules of the game. Well, um, I there's a couple different ways that I learned the rules of the game. If we're referring to the game being Whispering Peaks, well, I learned a player who is leaning on things to or leaning on his dad to get away with things. Also, I was um, I was able to experiment a bit more with the call to be able to and the speaker for the dead, and learn the more or experience that in a real world situation, learn the nuances of it, and okay. And then lastly, we have find Ty a new hobby, and we spent a bit of time playing video games, and hopefully that there was something in there that sparked his interest.
It did. Uh, Ty is finding it very interesting that there are things to do that aren't hockey.
Okay, so we'll have to drill that down a bit here to get the see if there's a particular one that jumps out at you.
All right. And I think that's Ethan done. Lex?
All right, so my first aspiration is find the killer. We did not find the killer. We found a killer, but not the killer. So I
Uh,
don't think I made any progress towards that one, unless I did in some secret roundabout way.
We did. We got that huge clue about the gas.
Oh yeah. So step towards that.
yeah.
Cool. Get to know Josie. I think I absolutely took a step towards that, just seeing how excited she was at school today.
Yeah.
I did make a step towards figuring out what Myrtle was moaning about.
Mm-hmm.
I took a step towards finding my grandpa's ghost,
Yeah. You got some information about him.
and I think I stepped and cleared help a friend.
Yep.
And next
All
time,
right.
we're going to get to watch some movies and also maybe find out who killed all those people at that theater ever so long ago.
Well, thanks for coming in today, folks. We're always happy that folks actually want to take this journey with us. And we'll see you again in 2 weeks.
All right.
Bye. Oh, and remember, the Discord is linked in the chat.